We've got very big breaking news tonight. On the eve of the House vote to send President Donald Trump's articles of impeachment over to the Senate, the House Intelligence Committee, that would be, of course, the committee that held the impeachment inquiry, that interviewed the witnesses, that committee just released an incredibly incriminating cache of documents from Rudy Giuliani's indicted associate, Lev Parnas. They include the following: handwritten notes from Lev Parnas on a Ritz-Carlton hotel notepad from Vienna, the first of which reads, I'm not making this up, "Get Zelensky to announce that the Biden case will be investigated." The documents include an absolute crazy, and I mean just crazy, text conversation between Lev Parnas and a new character, a guy who we did not know before tonight named Robert Hyde, a Republican congressional candidate in Connecticut. I'm going to quote a few of them here. "She's talked to 3 people. Her phone is off. Computer is off." How does he know that? "She's next to the embassy. If you want her out, they need to make contact with security forces." That appears to be a series of texts in real time from this individual, Robert Hyde, about the movements and security situation of the ambassador, where she is, what she's doing, who she's talking to. And then it concludes with him asking if Parnas wants a price from the unspecified individuals, presumably in Ukraine, who are doing the tailing. A price for what? I don't know. But him saying, half jokingly, maybe dead serious, maybe completely jokingly, that you can get anything in Ukraine for a price. The text and the documents also includes an email from the president's current lawyer, Jay Sekulow, who's set to be representing the president in the well of the Senate.
It says, quote, "John, I have discussed the issue of representation with the president. The president consents to allowing your representation of Mr. Parnas and Mr. Furman." If Mr. Sekulow can be taken at his word, and there's no reason not to, this would imply that the president personally gave his consent for Lev and Igor to have the lawyer of their choosing, John Dowd, representing them as they were fighting a request for testimony from congressional investigators looking at the impeachment scandal.
Parnas and his associate Igor Fruman were charged with working to get the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, removed, partly through illegal campaign donations. Their lawyer, who was Trump's lawyer, John Dowd, actually said that they were part of Trump's legal team in a letter to Congress. And then when the congressional impeachment investigation was heating up, Donald Trump went out on the White House lawn and denied knowing them at all.
What conversations have you had with Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman?
I don't know those gentlemen.
You're in pictures
now,
with them.
it's possible I have a picture with them because I have a picture with everybody. I don't know them.
If there was any room for doubt that this was a shakedown by the president and that he was involved and Rudy was involved and Rudy's subalterns, Lev and Igor, were involved, these additional documents put that all to rest.
It was reported that that moment outside the White House, that denial, that was the moment that Lev Parnas turned on Trump. And it was the moment he started wanting to cooperate with the House impeachment inquiry. This letter is new, and it's a letter. I mean, that first paragraph, I want to read it again because in some ways, the fiction that is embedded in the first paragraph is literally what the president has been impeached over. And what the president's been impeached over is abuse of power in which he confuses his private political interests with the interests of the United States. And here's Giuliani saying, this is totally normal that I, the private counsel, who represents him as a private citizen, not as president of the United States, that it's quite common under American law because the duties and privileges of a president and a private citizen are not the same.
The issue is that you have a number of Republicans who are likely to say, I don't think there's enough evidence. I don't think there's enough firsthand evidence. Now, we may all disagree with that, but if that's going to be the argument that Republican senators make, that we haven't heard enough, this is the opportunity. They are not frozen in time and they have to take just what the House presented. This is a trial. They are entitled to hear from witnesses, and new documents. So I don't think it's going to come, with good grace to say, gee, we wish that there was more evidence, but we actually are not going to look for it.
And the document dump comes against the backdrop of an impending Senate impeachment trial set to start on Tuesday, with an unanswered question about what that trial is going to look like. And crucially, are we going to hear from witnesses and are we going to see documents that the Senate Democrats are seeking? with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.